Chapter 10. Dominic. I wasn't expecting to hear from Nina for a couple of days. She just left my house yesterday afternoon. She texted me this morning to let me know that Philip sent a letter to her job. The audacity of this guy is amazing. Who rapes a woman and then sends her a letter? I drop everything I'm doing in my office and head over to Nina's office. Once I get there, I text her to let her know that I'm here. She meets me in the lobby, and I immediately pull her in for a hug. I can tell she's been crying. Nina is so petite and I want to protect her. The fact that she contacted me means that she needs me much as I need her. She trusts me to be there for her. I want to be there for her, and she clings to me. I notice some of her coworkers are staring at us, but I don't care. If I didn't feel it before, I certainly feel it now. My heart is knit to this woman. I know it has only been about a week, but I can't see my life without Nina in it. I want to spend every moment with her, keeping her safe, making her feel loved and cared for. When Connie introduced us, I just thought it was a casual meeting for business purposes. Little did I know that I would be looking to make a future with this woman. I'm looking forward to a future with her in it. There's no way I can go back to before. She means so much to me. If she will have me, I want to marry this woman. Just need to make sure she feels the same way. After my ex-fiance cheated on me, I never wanted to put my heart on the line again. But Nina is so different from my ex. She helps me see all the possibilities. She shows me what I've been missing, and she makes me feel. When your trust has been violated by a cheating significant other, you tend to lock your heart up tight, never wanting to experience that kind of pain again, and never wanting to feel that sting of betrayal again, never wanting to experience the jealousy, rage, or anger that accompanies that betrayal. It may seem impossible, but I think I love this woman. She has all the characteristics I could hope for or dream of in a woman. If she comes back to my house this time, I'm never letting her go. Nina. I haven't been back home since that morning I went to work and found the letter waiting for me. Dominic helped me pack a couple of suitcases this time, and I've been staying with him ever since. Work has been going smoothly, and I can work in the office at the range. Brian is impressed with my abilities to work remotely and get things turned in on time. Life is going great in spite of what happened. My doctor's appointment is scheduled for tomorrow morning. I just had my period, so I should be out of the woods in the pregnancy department. It's just a follow-up to make sure everything is on the mend. No residual issues from the rape. Ensure that the STD meds did their job, if that was even a true concern. I haven't told my OBGYN what happened yet. As far as she's concerned, I'm coming in for my yearly. I'm not sexually active, so there was no need to be on any birth control. I tried a low-dose birth control pill years ago to help with cramping and heavy periods, but I didn't like the way it made me feel. And until this incident, I was a virgin. The next morning, Dominic drives me to my doctor's office. I'm thankful he's willing to go with me. This is going to be an awkward conversation with my doctor who thinks I'm just coming in for a physical. The doctors at the hospital insisted that I follow up with my OBGYN in a couple of weeks. They also insisted on prescribing the meds that they did. I took one and not the other. My doctor may not be happy with my choice. She isn't the one that will have to deal with the consequences of that choice. I sign in at the receptionist's desk. Dominic has a seat and grabs a magazine. The receptionist takes my insurance card and copay. She hands me a clipboard to fill out an information sheet concerning today's visit. What symptoms I'm having, what problems or concerns I'm having, the medical history, last menstrual period. I gladly put the first day of my LMP on the form, which was 1 week ago. I sit down next to Dominic and work on the forms and disclosures. I turn them back in to the receptionist, and she takes them and starts working on her computer. A few minutes later, a nurse appears at the door and calls my name. Nina Belton? Dominic and I walk over to her. She leads us back behind the door to weigh me, take my weight and temp. Then she takes us to an exam room. Dom sits down in a chair. She hands me a urine collection cup and takes me to the restroom. They have a lab on site, and I follow the clean catch instructions on the wall poster of the restroom and place the cup behind a metal door for the lab tech to collect. I wash my hands and head back to the exam room. Dominic smiles at me when I walk in. Are you sure you want me here for all of this? His eyes land on a poster of the female anatomy with and without a baby on board. Then he notices all the stuff sitting on the counter for this appointment. A speculum still wrapped in plastic, large cotton swabs, specimen jars, other stuff that I don't know the name of but have seen before. Yes, I need you here. I know this is the last place he wants to be. This is the last place I want to be. The nurse pops her head back in and tells me to change into a gown and drape a paper blanket over my lap. It reminds me of the exam Connie had to perform. The doctor will be here in a couple of minutes. Dominic stands and says, I'll be back in a few minutes. He hugs me and hurries out of the room. I strip down and slide the gown over my body, open to the front, and settle on the exam table. I hold the gown closed tightly and drape the paper blanket over the lower part of my body. I keep my socks on again because these exam rooms are cold. The doctor knocks and I say, Come in. She opens the door and says, Hi, Nina. Does this one belong to you? Dominic enters the room right behind her. Yes, he belongs to me. I can feel my cheeks get hot because of the way it sounds. We've been like two peas in a pod lately. He comes to stand next to me as I sit at the end of the exam table. So what's going on? Dr. Johnston says, casually. She has no idea the bomb I'm about to drop on her otherwise boring day. I was raped about 2 weeks ago. The hospital doc said that I needed to follow up with you. Oh my word, Nina, I'm so sorry to hear that. Did they catch the guy? Tell me they got that son of a... Yes, they got him. I cut her off before she could finish the statement. Did they give you the Plan B and a antibiotic for STD prevention? Sure enough, she brought up what I thought she would. Yes, I received both. Did you take them both? She looks at me pointedly. I took the antibiotic. Nina, why didn't you take the Plan B? It simply sheds the lining. I cut her off again. I know, Dr. Johnston. I know what you're going to say. I made my choice. I had my period, so there shouldn't be anything to worry about. The nurse knocks and pops her head in, motioning for the doctor to come out in the hall. They must be talking about another patient. Dr. Johnston excuses herself, and she's out there for a minute or two, delaying the inevitable, this exam. I hate coming to the doctor for these things anyway. Dr. Johnson is looking a little green around the gills when she comes back in the room. She has a piece of paper in her hand that looks like a lab report. It must be for another patient. She lays it down on the counter and goes to the computer monitor in the corner to type in some information. She looks back at the lab report, and I can see that she's looking at my electronic file, and then her eyes go to the lab report again. Before she turns to look at me, she takes a deep breath and says, Nina. Another deep breath, and she starts again. Nina, you're pregnant. We can order more tests, but there's enough HCG to determine that you are in fact pregnant. What? How? Who? Oh, I know who. That son of a... I lose it. I just had my period. How the heck is this possible? Dominic is stiff next to me. He grabs the back of his neck. I was so sure that I wasn't ovulating during the time of the rape. I slowly calm down and remember that I was the one who chose to not take the Plan B pill. I also remember that I said I would deal with the consequences if they came. So here I am now. It is still early enough that you have options, Nina. As far as how this happened, you are a fertile young woman. I exhaled loudly. No, that's not something I'm going to discuss with you. You're not going to convince me to abort this baby. Dominic is rubbing my back now. He's staying quiet. And it's probably the best thing for him to do right now. I would hate to say something mean to him. He's been great to me. That's not what I was going to do, Nina. There is adoption. Dr. Johnston scoots closer. To me, that isn't even an option. This child is half mine, half my DNA, half my family bloodline. I will raise this baby. Just because his father is a predator doesn't mean I could kill an innocent, helpless child. At least I know who the father is. He wants me to visit him. I can't believe I'm even considering it now. Not that I want him in mine or my baby's life. He raped me. If he was completely anonymous, I wouldn't even have the option for him to know about the child. I would just be here dealing with this on my own. I know that I'm not alone. Dominic is right here with me. My family will love me no matter what, and true friends will be there for me. Thank you for your concern, Doc. Can we get the rest of this exam over with? So you don't want to talk about this any further? She asked. No, and he stays with me. I don't give Dominic an option to leave the room after the heated exchange between myself and the doctor. He grabs my hand as I lie back. The doctor starts her exam and tells me what she sees, describing the scar tissue. She doesn't say much else. I've made my mind up and will hear no more discussion about the pregnancy. Dominic is a trooper to deal with me. I wouldn't want anyone else to be here with me. The doctor collects her samples, removes her gloves, and tosses them in the biohazard bin. I'll order blood work. Once we're done here, go to the lab, and you can get dressed now. She leaves me and Dominic in the exam room. He finally speaks. How are you handling the news? I'm handling it as well as can be expected. I knew the consequences of my choice, and now I'm here. I plan to raise this baby. He or she can't help what their father did. It isn't their fault. I will be right here with you. This man. I stand up holding the gown closed and hug him so tight. I whisper, thank you. You can move in with me if you want. Seriously, this man keeps being amazing. I know we haven't known each other long, but I don't want to live without you, and I don't want you living in that house alone. It will calm my fears to know where you are and that you're safe, Nina. Are you sure? Me and a baby. Are you sure you want to take all this on? This is a lot. I wouldn't offer if I didn't want to take it all on. How hard can an emotional woman and a baby be? He laughs. It's not like I'm a 20-year-old kid. I'm almost 35, and it's about time I start taking care of someone else besides myself. I can handle it. All of it, Nina. That baby may not be mine biologically, but I can still love it. I already think its mom is pretty great. We do need to talk about that, too. Philip at least needs to know that he fathered a child. Not that I would allow him to be involved. He will be in jail anyway. Let's talk about that later. I'll let you get dressed. You can stay. Just turn around. I don't want you to leave me. He turns towards the door. I put my panties and jeans on and remove the gown from my shoulders, sliding my bra on and then my shirt over my head. I'm dressed, just need to slip my shoes on. I keep my socks on to lessen the indignity. I laugh. He turns around to face me. What if we get married? Hear me out, okay? If we get married, people will think that the baby's mine anyway. I can sign the birth certificate, and then we don't have to worry about the Kent clan trying to stake a claim on your baby. Are you saying to not tell Philip that he's going to have a child? He has a right to know. Does he, though? Dom is right. He did rape me with no concern for the consequences, effectively abandoning his child. As quickly and quietly as he came into my home, violating me, he quickly and not so quietly fathered a child and left. He isn't going to be free to take responsibility for the baby. Maybe this is a secret we can keep. I'm here and I want to do this with you. It won't change anything if you choose to tell him, but it will make it easier. The less people that know about the paternity of the baby, the better. Let's get out of here. I still need to get the blood work done, and then you can feed us. Us, as in baby on board. I thought that it would be difficult to come to terms with the concept. I came to terms with the concept when I chose life over an emergency contraceptive. Sure enough, there is a little life growing inside me. The blood test will confirm the pregnancy. Sometimes you have false positives in urine tests, plus, it is still so early. Once I have the confirmation in hand, I will know what to do with Dominic's proposal.